beautiful friend, it's Marnie. Welcome back to Life is Delicious. Before we get started, I just wanted to ask you a quick question. How many times this week did you say yes to things that you really wanted to say no to? And how many times did you accommodate someone else's wishes so that they would stay comfortable? Well, in fact, you were not. The reason I ask is because this has become a very common situation for women who overfunction, especially when we have a lot on our plate. So if you feel like you've been overfunctioning or people-pleasing or maybe just doing more than you actually feel like you can do happily, I've created something just for you. It's called the 5-Day Midlife Boundary Reset. It's a 5-day email program where we do some quick resets that help to rewire the fear of disappointing others, and it helps us stop disappointing ourselves. Join me over at lifeisdelicious.ca, where it's free to sign up, and it will really give you some quick inspiration for getting your boundaries back on track. Please do click on that good old subscribe button. I love your support, and it's incredible to see your beautiful comments and how many of you are sharing these episodes with the people in your life that you love. I'm so grateful to be here with you, and I'm so excited to be on this crazy midlife adventure with all of you. Thank you for subscribing. It truly means the world. Okay, back to the show. Have you ever noticed that we spend our entire lives planning almost everything? We write grocery lists, we make meal plans, business plans, retirement plans, vacation plans, even garden plans. We make plans for birthdays, Christmas, college, our finances, and some people even plan their funerals. But isn't it funny that almost nobody ever sits down and writes a plan for how they actually want to live? Not what they accomplish, or what they want to own, or where they want to retire, but who do I want to become? And I think that's one of the reasons why so many women arrive in midlife with this feeling of restlessness. Not because they've done anything wrong, or that they're not grateful for the life they have, but because somewhere in between raising children, building careers, taking care of aging parents, being everyone's helper and problem solver and calendar keeper, we slowly stopped asking ourselves one really important question. What do I actually want? Not what does everyone else need, or what should I do, but what do I want? What kind of life would actually feed my soul? And that's exactly why I created the Midlife Manifesto. Because I think a manifesto changes everything. A manifesto is more than just words on a page. It's a declaration. It's a bold, unapologetic statement of who you are, what you stand for, and the life you're committed to living. What I love is it's actually part compass, but also part love letter to yourself, guiding you not only toward the life you truly want, but also away from the one that you just expected to live, or that you live by default or on autopilot. The Midlife Manifesto is about reclaiming that sense of clarity, purpose, and self-trust in a chapter that is often clouded by a lot of change. It's a personal roadmap that you create for yourself. It's your set of values, intentions, and truths that you want to commit to living by every day. And the beauty of a manifesto is that it's entirely yours, crafted to reflect your experiences, your dreams, and your needs. And it helps you navigate the noise, cut through old beliefs that no longer serve you, and anchor into a deeper sense of meaning. And what's cool about your manifesto is that it's changeable. As you grow into a different phase of your life, you can customize it and change it and throw things away and add things to it because it's yours. And when we consciously write and live by our own manifesto, we stop drifting and we start steering. We become more intentional about where our energy goes, who we spend our time with, and what we allow into our hearts and into our space. This is your time to nourish your soul, honor your uniqueness, and love yourself fully, deeply, and unapologetically. as you step into this next chapter of life. The Midlife Manifesto is not about changing who you are. It's about becoming more of who you've always been. What if midlife isn't the beginning of the end like we've been taught? What if it's finally the beginning of living on purpose? And that's exactly why I wrote the Midlife Manifesto. Because I don't believe we're here to fade quietly into the background in our next chapter. I think we're here to become more ourselves than we've ever been before. So what does intentional living actually look like? I believe it comes down to 8 areas of life. And today, I'm not going to teach every exercise in the manifesto, but instead, I want to leave you with 10 ideas that have the power to change everything. Number 1, become the author of your thoughts. Because everything begins here. Your life follows your thinking. So if you're constantly telling yourself, I'm too old, I missed my chance, or, well, I've just always been this way, your brain starts looking for evidence that that's true. But neuroscience tells us something incredible. Our brains continue changing throughout our lives. And that means we're never stuck, because you're literally capable of creating new thought patterns anytime you choose. So maybe the question isn't, what happened to me? Maybe it's, what story am I ready to start telling now? Number 2, treat your body like your best friend. For so many women, myself included, midlife can become a bit of a battle against the mirror. But your body isn't your enemy, even though lots of days it really does feel like it, and it's very confusing, and there's a lot of pain associated to, and changes that we just did not see coming. But your body has been carrying you through every season of your life. So maybe instead of pushing against it, we start partnering with it. Maybe move just because it feels good, not because you have to get a gym membership and work out 5 days a week. Move for joy. Maybe eat because it fuels your body and gives you energy. Don't look at everything on your plate as a diet or an in or an out source of fat. Instead, look at it as a way to nourish your body. Rest because your body deserves kindness. Try to not see rest as being lazy or just not doing anything, because your body needs rest in order to do all of the amazing things that you require of it. And your body, truthfully, has been speaking to you for years. And I think in midlife, it's the best time, if not the most important time, that we finally listen. Number 3, make space to hear yourself think. We are surrounded by noise, notifications on our phone, television, social media, news, podcasts, although this one isn't noise. Even this one. But sometimes the wisest voice is the one that's inside you. And intentional living means creating moments of stillness. A walk, a garden, a meditation. Because clarity usually doesn't arrive when we're in a hurry. It arrives when we're finally quiet enough to hear it. Number 4, health is freedom. What if we didn't take care of our health because we're afraid of getting sick? What if instead we took care of our health because we have so much life left to live? We want the energy to travel, to hike, to dance, to chase our grandchildren, to build businesses, to fall in love. And health isn't vanity, it's freedom. Number 5, redefine wealth. This might be my favorite lesson because somewhere along the way we started believing that wealth is just about money. But I don't think that's true anymore. I think real wealth is having the time, the peace, and the people around us, and our health, to do the things that truly matter to us. Having laughter around your dinner table, having friends to travel with, having quiet moments to just enjoy your time. That's freedom, but it's also abundance, and nobody can put a price tag on that. Number 6, Protect your peace. One of the biggest lessons I've learned is that boundaries aren't walls. They're actually doors. And you decide who gets access. You decide what behavior you're willing to accept. And you decide where your energy goes. And every time you choose your peace, you're practicing self-respect and self-love. Number 7, choose relationships that feed your soul. Life becomes incredibly rich when we're surrounded by people who celebrate us. Not people who blow sunshine up our ass, but people who truly see us, not just simply tolerate us. The ones who have your back and know your history and where you've come from and love you all the more for it. Intentional living means becoming intentional about who gets a front row seat in your life and who gets a seat at your table. Because the relationships that we have shape us, and life is so much more delicious when it's shared with people that we love. Number 8, your purpose didn't retire. Purpose isn't something that's reserved for your 20s or your career. Purpose evolves. And maybe today your purpose is raising grandchildren. And maybe tomorrow it's mentoring or volunteering or starting a podcast or learning to paint or learning to plant a garden. Purpose keeps us growing, and I truly believe that if you're still breathing, your purpose is still unfolding. Number 9, courage comes before confidence. People think they need confidence before they start, but I don't actually think that's true. Confidence is what grows after you've been brave enough to begin, and you learn to trust yourself for stepping forward into the unknown. So take that class you've been wanting to take, book the trip, or maybe write that book or launch that business you've been thinking about. But say yes before you know exactly how. Because action actually creates confidence, not the other way around. And number 10, write your own rules. This is really what a manifesto is. And any of you that have followed me for a while on this podcast know that I have an exercise that I do called the Rules of the Road, and I do it every January. And I believe actually it was the precursor to the Midlife Manifesto, because the rules of the road are a set of standards and statements that help me to shape the way I live, and that has gone on to evolve into this manifesto, where we take the 8 most important areas of our life and we actually write our own rules. What is it for us that works? Because not everybody's recipe is going to be the same, but we need to choose the values that we want to live by and what we're no longer available for, how we want to feel, and the legacy that we want to leave, because nobody else gets to write that for you, only you. Before we finish today, I'd love you to grab a journal and answer these 5 questions. What do I believe? What am I no longer available for? And what do I want more of? Who am I becoming? And what do I want the next chapter of my life to feel like? Don't worry about making it perfect. Just begin. Because the moment you start answering those questions, you've already begun writing your own midlife manifesto. And maybe that's what intentional living really is. Not having every answer, but deciding that from this day forward, you're going to live on purpose instead of by default. If today's episode resonated with you, I've created a free resource called the Midlife Manifesto, The Art of Intentional Living in Midlife and Beyond. And it's filled with reflection questions, practical exercises, and simple actions, very much like what we talked about today, to help you create your own blueprint for a life that truly feeds your soul. You can download it at the link in the show notes, and I hope you'll do it because it's a little bit more comprehensive than today's exercises, but it really does help you to start intentionally living. Because happy is not an accident, it's something we create, one intentional choice at a time. Before we finish today, I want to read you a few lines from the sample Midlife Manifesto that's in the workbook. Not because I want you to copy mine, but because I want it to spark your own. Listen how different it feels when we speak from intention instead of obligation. I believe midlife is not the beginning of the end. It's the start of my most authentic and vibrant chapter, and I am ready to shine. I believe I am allowed to change my mind, rewrite my story, and choose a life that lights me up from the inside out. I will nourish my body, mind, and spirit with love, compassion, and care, because I am worthy of feeling good every single day. I will stop apologizing for taking up space, for having dreams, or for prioritizing my own joy. It's my turn to thrive. I will release the need for perfection and embrace the beauty of being human, flaws and all. I believe my worth has never been defined by my age, my appearance, or the opinion of others. I will choose presence over busyness, meaning over approval, and courage over fear. I know that everything is always working out for me. Now imagine writing those words about your life. What would your manifesto say? What do you believe? What kind of woman are you becoming? Once you find that out, you will know exactly what you want the next chapter of your life to feel like. So don't overthink it. Just begin. Because a manifesto doesn't have to be perfect. It simply has to be true. I hope you enjoyed today's episode. I hope it inspired you or motivated you in some way to keep going and to create your very best life. If you did, would you take 5 quick minutes to leave me a review on Apple Podcasts? It's the best way for me to know that you are enjoying the show, and it helps other listeners find me as well. And while you're at it, head over to lifeisdelicious.ca and sign up for my email newsletter. It's like a warm hug from me every week, and not only will you get first access to new episodes, I've also put together a free 5-day email experience called the Midlife Boundary Reset, where you'll get 5 days of insights, mindset shifts, and daily journal prompts to help you gently start choosing yourself again and create better boundaries without guilt, drama, or burning bridges. I've put the link in the show notes as well, and I think you're going to love it. One last thing, if you know someone who would enjoy an episode like this, please do them a favor and share it with them. It's the best gift you can give someone that you love. If no one has told you today, there is no one on this planet that is exactly like you. And this world is a better place because you're here. So thank you for being here. I'll be back next week, and I hope you'll join me right here on Life is Delicious.